Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really proud to present Edwin van Andel for you. And he will talk about public and private partnerships. Yeah. So, give it up
Sounds
for
boring.
Edwin.
Hey, thanks. English people in the room, by the way? Just checking, yeah. Okay, we'll do it in English. We'll try. I haven't prepared, of course. I normally have different presentation about how hackers can help you. In this case, you are all hackers, so it would be stupid if I did that. So I turned it around, and I was once asked by the police to tell on stage for the head of police on how they could work together with hackers. So what I did is I took that presentation, I modified it a bit, and I will take you on the journey what kind of misery and horrors you will encounter if you try to work with police. But on the other side, how much fun it can be to do it as well. I don't know if I'm going to do this now. I think so. I work at Zerocopter. We are a bug bounty platform, but we developed a game for fun at the office, which is the bug bounty platform game. I would like you guys to try it here and just give me hints and tips on how to make it better, because this started out as a joke, just to give to people randomly and have fun with it, but now everybody gets interested, so I want to have it right. So please, I will leave those here around, so you can play with them whole weekend, and please, if you have any comments or whatever, write them down, give them, and Hans over here will take them in. He's the old guy with the white hair, so shouldn't be hard to find. Yeah, Hans? We're a member of Guild of the Grumpy Old Hackers. We'll get to that later. All right, I fly a lot for my work, so if I cough, I'm sorry, I got ill once, and then when you're in the plane, you stay ill, so if I cough, excuse me for that. Any people under 15 in the room, by the way? No, okay, some slides are scary, so please don't get nightmares. Go to the organization if you have them. Who am I? My name is Edwin van Andel. I'm from 1970. Pushed a lot of buttons when I was a kid. My parents still hated me for that. Played with the old modems. I think some of you will remember the modems. Some don't, of course. We had phones with dials even then, back then. We downloaded like 30 floppies of Windows, and then at floppy 29 your mother picked up the phone and everything was gone. That's the area where I'm from. Learned how to hack, learned how to write assembler, had a lot of fun, and basically what I wanted to do was get all the brilliant minds I met along the way in a room like this, and just drive in a car, a washing machine, a website, whatever, it doesn't matter, they will break it and you know where your problems are. And that's what we're building with Zerocopter, but I won't bother you with that part. We're here for fun. In my free time, I'm a member of the Guild of the Grumpy Old Hackers, which is a guild with old hackers. And what we try to do is help young people who try to go the other way, like the criminal may or whatever. We try to steer them in the right direction by giving them a bit of old hackery advice. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but we try. Also member of the cavalry, where we help automotive factories, medical factories to be more secure. And that's difficult. We have discussions with car manufacturers and we say, your car is broken, we can take over your car and we can steer. And they say, we know. And then we say, but if you know, why don't you fix it? And they say, well, there's no law telling me I have to fix it first. And if I have to fix it, I have to bring back all the cars, which cost me a lot of money. So I won't, and I just leave it like this. And then but what if we kill somebody with your car? And they say, oh, we just pay the deceased family. That's easier and cheaper. So that's hard for us, so if you want to help, please join the cavalry and do something. I also get weird mail sometimes. This was on CCC that I got a mail from a guy called Klaas Dijkhoff. I'm not sure if everybody knows him, but he's pretty important, it seems. If you go there, you have a problem because you have to be in a suit, which is really, really, really awful. By the way, for people who don't know her, Google Mary Mo. She's the lady in the middle and she hacks her own pacemaker, which is really, really scary. Really, really scary. So please look that up. Look at the presentation of her and you don't know what you see. I will go pretty speedy because I just found out I got 111 slides, so please bear with me. This is how this all started. I got an email, and it's in Dutch, with spelling errors from the police in the Netherlands. And they say, we would like to have Edwin as a speaker for our DEX conference. And it's the most important police conference, and all the bobos will be there, and the special people, forensics, cyber. But we would like to have you on stage. And I was like, well, I'm not sure if I want to. And they said, well, we don't have rules on what you can say. And then I thought, wow, this might be interesting. This might be a good one. And I said, well, what do you want me to talk about? How hackers can help, about responsible disclosure? And they said, well, we know about responsible disclosure, but maybe we can look at in how hackers and police can cooperate. And I said, okay, you want to talk public-private partnerships and then with hackers? Yeah, that would be cool. And I said, and I can do anything? Yes, you can do anything. I said, okay, I'll do it. So I looked it up, and first one I saw was this one. Police looks for volunteers in the battle on cybercrime. And I'm like, what? Cyber, for one, yeah. Volunteers, police volunteers. So that means that if there's an investigation, you just call somebody and say, can you help? Because we have an investigation. So everybody was like, how are you going to do it? Why are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? And most of all, police still, for most of our hackers, I mean, the old good against bad, police looks at us like this. And this is what I did on stage, by the way. So you're now looking at what I did to them. And I say, how can we collaborate with you, with the enemy? Or how can you collaborate with us? I don't think it will work. Or will it? I mean, we tried it with Trump, a Zerocopter. Well, the only thing that happened is they're building a wall with our logo. So it's stupid. But police still look at us like this. You know, wearing ski masks. How many of you wear a ski mask while hacking? Yeah, of course, Nick. Yeah, so that's about 4. The rest, no? I don't think so. Have you ever tried doing the pizza eat contest with the ski mask? It's fun and very nasty. Very nasty. But we hackers, we don't wear ski masks. We wear hoodies, you know, but you also know what for, because you can work longer. That's the whole idea of the hoodie, you know? The only reason why we have hoodies. And then I thought, well, maybe we should look at this in a different way. We did some stuff with police and military. Can anybody here remember Operation Cyberpain? Okay. I have prizes with me, of course. The best prizes there are, Clubmaten. What year? Hand in the air if you know it. Oh, you count down. No.
Oscar was behind it.
No.
Oscar was behind it.
What year? What year? No? Yeah! In the middle. Come on, man. 13. You were there.
That long ago.
Yeah, that long ago. But you were there. But it was awesome. For the people who don't know it, it was hackers getting in a discussion, I think, with military or police on Twitter. And then they discussed, let's go to a game room, a paintball room, and just shoot at each other. So you had teams of military, you had teams of police, you had teams of Secret Service, and you had teams of hackers, and they were all shooting at each other. It was fucking awesome. And it worked. I mean, there were friends. There were really tough guys like this one. I don't know if you know him. Yeah, how many Nordwave people in the room? Nobody. Oh, so too bad. I did this especially for them. But he was the head of the technical police at the time. And we had criminals like Ricky Gevers, you know. We had those there. And they were shooting at each other. And it is awesome. And is Breno in the room? No? Awesome. Somebody shot him in the head. Close range. And we still don't know who did it. And why I did this on stage at the police, the whole audience was laughing their ass off, because they know who did it. And they won't tell us. But I think, okay, we can work with them, you know. We did NCSC. I think most of you know the NCSC, keeping our company secure. Anybody of NCSC here, by the way? Don't be scared. Nobody? Ah, too bad. NCSC helps keeps the Netherlands more secure, and we work with them. We did in the beginning we had some problems with them. They have an awesome conference every year, which we weren't allowed as hackers in the Netherlands, so we couldn't go to the one conference. So what we did in 2013, we also organized our own conference on the same day, and we asked the speakers over there to come to our conference and speak for free, which they did, which was really awesome. We even had Henk Krol in the top. Does somebody know what he is?
Gay.
Yeah, gay, yeah. And what more?
Criminal.
No? Criminal? Yeah. And what kind of criminal? No? A cyber criminal. He's a hacker. Convicted as well. And why? Because on TV he showed how to break into a medical website. And he showed it on TV, which was okay-ish. Not good, but okay-ish. But before that he showed it, he looked at the HIV status of some of his friends. And that's not legal in the Netherlands. So he got convicted for doing that. So he's a convicted hacker, which was really awesome to have on stage. And he's a politician. But it was good. Only the NCSC hated us for that because they pay the speakers a lot. So yeah, we had to go there. We got a lot of trouble with them. But in 2017, we were on stage. They invited us. And now hackers can go to the One Conference. We are welcome. They even have exhibitions on us, and I will show some pictures of that later on. It's really cool. So it can work. We can work together. And why? This is Jeroen van der Ham. He is responsible for responsible disclosure in the Netherlands. He is from the NCSC, but he goes to CCC. He makes friends with us, you know, and that's the way, you can work if you want to work together. Just become friends. It's about this, you know. There are no friends or enemies, I think. It's just mutual interest. If we have the same interest, we can work together. That means police can work together, not as police, but as the friend you know at the police. If that can work, then it might work. It's about trust, building trust. And I talked a little bit about responsible disclosure early. Most of you know, I think. Is there anybody who doesn't know what responsible disclosure is, by the way? No, it's called coordinated vulnerability disclosure. I will get to that later.
Sorry.
No problem. Responsible disclosure basically is that you invite hackers, you tell on your website or whatever, if you find something, please tell us and keep to these rules, like downloading not too much shit, but just to show that you can break in, and we won't prosecute you. That's the basic idea between responsible disclosure, and we've been doing it since 2013. So in that case, I thought about how can we work, so I also got this invitation from the police to shine in at the conference, and they had a website, so we looked a bit at it, and it was pretty close. I couldn't do anything. I didn't have a login, so I couldn't try, so we spinned on Burp and Zap and all the other tools, and we found one page open, which was for pictures. So what we did the day before the conference was put a duck in the app. And I told them responsibly about that on stage. And they liked it, but it was difficult. So I said, well, can I get a bounty? You know, can I get a bounty? Can I get a shirt for putting my duck in your app? And they didn't do it. It was really, it sucked. They didn't give me any presents. It was really nasty. By the way, do you know what the Dutch federal bank gives away when you do a good responsible disclosure?
Gold USB stick or paper money, it's rare.
The first one was correct. You win a bottle. A gold USB stick. You get gold from them. They put this on Twitter, or I think they put it on LinkedIn. And I heard from the CISOs over there that the day after this came on LinkedIn, they had 1,000 responsible disclosure messages in their box. You know, everybody sent them in. But it's a USB stick, so pretty good. And do you know what the Dutch RDW gives away, which is the motor vehicle responsible company in the Netherlands? Sorry? You also get a bottle. No, you get this. Look at it. Fucking awesome. Really awesome. I hacked RDW and all I got was this lousy license plate. I really liked it. I called them up and I said, can I put it on my car? And they said, no. Oh, sucks. Why? Shouldn't be on my car. It was called responsible disclosure. You're correct, of course. Now we call it coordinated vulnerability disclosure. And why it's very important for us as hackers. The problem with responsible disclosure was all the pressure was on us. We had to do responsible things. And there was no pressure at the company whatsoever. So now there is more, because coordinated, more pressure at the company. The company also has to do stuff to fix their shit, which is really good. And we worked a lot of them. And they made a big leaflet with the guidelines for coordinated vulnerability disclosure, the NCSC did. And they put people like Victor in it. And they did a big show on it. They put people like Zwadi in it, which are helping hackers in the Netherlands. They put Nick in it. Are you in this one, by the way? Yeah, Nick in it. And they even put me in it, but I'm not so proud of that part. But police Still, not so much. And why? Because they are pretty scary also to communicate with. I was in Rotterdam once, and I talked there, and then I got an email, which was a bit like this. Can we meet? The meetings are always available and free, and we want to know each other, but we like to speak in a neutral, public place like a restaurant. That's the email you get. And there's no names or anything under it. They just say, please meet us over there. So I'm like, oh my God, where am I going? You know, I was really, panic, panic, panic. And then I came there, and it was even worse, you know. It was so fucking scary. But there were 2 people of police investigation and a secret police service. And they talked to me about how we could work together and stuff like that. And I say, well, how do you work? And they said, yeah, we have some problems. I said, name a problem. Yeah, we don't have access to stuff and data. I said, well, that's bullshit, you know. For instance, the LinkedIn database. When was it hacked? 2013? Everybody can download it, right? You all know where to find it. They are not allowed to use it. Why? Because if they download it, it's not legal evidence and chain of evidence, blah, 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 blah. So somebody has to give them the database. That's the only way they can use it, which is really stupid. And I was like, why, man? The database is huge. You can do so much stuff with that. Just download it. No, we're not allowed. And that's why we want to speak to you. Can we get databases? And I'm like, well, I'm not so sure. I mean, you have to do something for us as well, because we as Zerocopter work with a lot of young hackers, kids, and as the Guild of the Grumpies, we work with kids going the wrong way, and they turn from computer-aware kids to police criminals, etc. And it's difficult for us, because those kids don't want to be criminals, they just don't know how to act. I mean, if your kid steals something from a shop, then the shop owner will speak to him, the wijkagent, as we call it, will speak to him, school will speak to him, parents will speak to him. There's a lot of guidance and steering, don't steal. But if your kid is on your locked room behind a laptop, there's no guidance whatsoever. And they can do stuff, download stuff, and whatever. We need help with that. And we talked a lot with the district attorneys. I think, OM, what's it called in English? Public prosecutor, thank you. I will come back to you later. Public prosecutor. We talked to the public prosecutors, and we built something called HackRight, which is really cool. That means that if a kid is doing something wrong and he might get arrested, he won't go to jail, but he can go to a cybersecurity company and learn about the ethical ways of hacking. That's his punishment, which is really, really awesome. But the problem is, if we have a kid who's done something and he wants to report it, if he rings to the police, he needs one person to talk to. Dear police. I'm still talking to the police group. Dear police, one person. And what you have is all those shitty islands. I mean, if we call to the police and we report something, you get transferred, and you get nowhere. It doesn't work. We need one. And then somebody in the room asked me, well, who do you call when you have a problem? And it's weird, but do you know? Does anybody have an idea who I call when I want to do something? Ghostbusters, no. Close. Anybody? No. Sorry. Brenno. No, I don't call Brenno as well. No, I think it's a difficult one here because you probably don't know him. But I call this guy. Anybody know him? Nah, he's called Martijn Egberts. He's the head of cybercrime at the Public Prosecutions Office. He's the guy whose mobile number I got. And I can just call him when I have a problem with whatever law or whatever shit or whatever person who wants to report or whatever. And the whole room was like, how the fuck did you get his number? Well, because I was in a magazine with him and we had the same interest and we drank beer and we created trust. That's the only way we could work together. And it works. And I'm very happy about it. But why would you want to work with hackers? And now I know something the English guys probably won't know, but I will enlighten you. And you all know this, but you will laugh anyway, I hope. We have a problem in the Netherlands called experts. Yeah? Anybody got an idea where we're going? Hey! Experts are very difficult, and for the English guys, I will explain a bit. We had a problem with Dutch banks. Dutch banks were under a heavy DDoS attack early this year. And when banks are under heavy DDoS attacks, the whole media frenzy spins up and they start calling experts. And experts get invited into television shows. I myself had to come, sadly, also to one, but it was from Huberto Tan, who now resides in the program is shit after I was there. But when I was there, our phones kept ringing because there was somebody else on public television also talking about DDoS. And it was this lady. Hey. And she was called Rian van Rijboek. And Rian van Rijboek was explaining what the problem was. But first she was also telling what she was. She wrote a book together with somebody else, a very public figure in the Netherlands. But she also was world's best hacker, 30 years. The only problem was nobody in the community had ever heard of her. Sign one. Then she was talking about, for a bottle, what was it, guys? Make the rebus. No, we get to that. This one. No. Who said airbag? What? Yes, he was talking about airbag networks. But it was really awesome. The only way to secure yourself is with airbag networks. So then we had something like, well, we're not so sure. She was also telling us she had an app downloaded on which she could make cash machines spill money. Really cool. I think we still need a drill for that, but she didn't. But she had the solution to all our problems.
Smart blockchain.
This is it. Just put your cybersecurity stuff in the smart blockchain and it will be fixed. That's what she told us. So we were very happy. And now I'm going to switch, because now I think my next slide the English will know and you guys won't. She reminded me of this guy. Do you know this guy? Guy Goma, Google this. It is so fucking awesome. Guy Goma was a guy who was going to the BBC for a job interview as a cleaner. And he was sitting in the waiting room, and then on stage somebody came in and said, oh, where's Guy? We need him on television. Where's Guy? And Guy was sitting there for his cleaning interview and said, I'm Guy. And he was put on TV and he was interviewed about Apple security. And he had no fucking clue. And he's just sitting there for 5 minutes laughing and telling everybody, yeah, you can download anything. Yes, yes. It was really, really awesome. Look it up. It was so fucking brilliant. But that's what we have in the Netherlands. And that's the police are using those people. And that's an issue. You mean, if you want to learn, don't go to people who have no clue. Go to people who can help you, like hackers, because we think differently. Who of you have a Tesla? One. Who of you wants a Tesla? Look under your chair. Right? Yeah. Right? You don't know. You don't know. You never know. Now, Teslas have the auto steer mode where you can just plug it in and it drives and you don't have to steer. But you have to grab the steering wheel like every 10 minutes to make sure you're awake. Well, you didn't have to if you did this, you know? By the way, they fixed this now, I found out. It sucks. They fixed this. What you now have to do is get a bottle of water and hang it on your steering wheel, and then the same thing can happen again. What I worry about, by the way, is this. I don't have real interest in cars, but there is an ASIL standard for security of cars, by the way. Self-steering is D, which is low, you know, and braking lights and other stuff is A. So that means that people in these automotive industries still think that if you have a self-steering car, if there's a problem with steering, it doesn't matter. Which really sucks if you have a Tesla, I think. Does anybody know what this is, by the way? For a bottle? You have a bottle. Yeah. And not really a Tesla trap. It's a self-driving car trap. Can you hand it up? If you have a self-driving car, an autonomous car, it can get in because of the open dotted lines. It cannot get out because of the closed line. A self-driving car, you have to push out of this circle. Yeah. Yeah, look, it's bullshit. Yeah, just put your pedal to the metal and try, you know. Now this, we, dear police, I was there, dear police, we don't make holes. We find holes which are already there, and then we talk about them. And I know it sucks, but we like to talk about them, you know? And I don't think hackers are the big problem of the world. There's bigger problems attacking everything. I mean, do you guys know what for me the biggest enemy is? And probably for you as well. What is it? The biggest enemy of the internet at the moment? Homemakers. Lawmakers, yeah, also, no. Anybody else? Users. I'm coming to users in a second. What more? The Russians, ignorance. Experts, Trump, yeah. Still not where I'm going. Think devices. Yay! Well, close. IoT, this is the problem. Time to market. You know, you have a brilliant idea, you go to an investor, they put on some people in India, whatever, they build stuff, they get components from the net, they just click it together, and nobody thinks about security because you have to have 2 million devices at your customers because you want to be world dominator and leader, and you don't think about security. That's the really big issue. And also this one is a big issue, focus. And people always tell me, yeah, focus is really important. If you have focus, you're secure. I want to say focus is bullshit in cybersecurity. If you have focus, you have a problem. That's true, I think. And I will give an example. I was invited for a hotel, and they had developed something new. They had an app on a mobile phone you could install, and then you can go check in your hotel. You got an email with keys on your mobile, and with Bluetooth or RFID, you could open your hotel door. And to celebrate this, they had invited press, media, and some hackers to test the app because it will give a lot of exposure. And they also invited us, and it was not a good idea. Because I came there, yeah, shh, don't tell the joke. I came there, and there was a board of people in suits, and they say, well, thank you, nice of you to have, you can hack our app. And I say, yeah, but what's the meaning of the test? What do you want me to test? And they say, well, we build an app, and you get your certificates on it, and you can open the door, and blah, blah. I said, yeah, but what do you want me to test? And it was quiet, and I said, well, we build an app. And then they said, no, I don't think that's the issue. I think what you want me to show is if I can get in the room or not. And they say, yeah, that's the idea, that's what I want. And I said, that's cool, because I took that into account, and I brought with me a 75-kilo magnet. I put it on the lock, I twirled, and the door opened. And they said, well, that's not what we meant. I said, no, but that's your issue. Because you focus so fucking much on the app that you forget all the other ways where we can get in. Focus is bad in this kind of installation. You shouldn't do this stuff. And they sent me away with some coupons and stuff, and I haven't seen the show anywhere. But whatever. Somebody said other problems are people. Yes, sadly, I still have to do this. People like this will cause problems. People like this as well. Think of your colleague when you see this picture, please. People like this will cause problems. My favorite still is this one. I really love this one. So cool. And the guy in the middle with his eyes closed, you know, nothing will happen. Nothing. I see Anne Jan with the flamethrower. Nothing will happen. And we are a student country in the Netherlands. We have a lot of students. And it was awesome weather in the past couple of months. No, well, not the past couple of months, but before. And then students go out and they're in their student homes and they drink a lot of beer and they put out a pool in front of their home, and then they get hungry and do shit like this. You know? As long as you have people like this, you will be in trouble. There's also, of course, Strava, you all know this, I think, leaking all the data so we can look at military bases. The police, I did this one as well, it was really funny. Do you know what this is? The police didn't. But I'm guessing some of you know. Training lockpick? Yeah, I still have 3 bottles, you get one. There you go. Have fun. You can go to the back, you want it as well. But where don't you hang shit like this? No, on military RAF bases. But they do. Yeah. It's stupid. Really fucking stupid. This one I had to show them as well, and I really like it. Do you guys know Deviant Olem? No, he's a hacker, does a lot of lockpicking, but he was at a wedding, drinking a bit, and then we discussed how you could get in a bank at night, and he said, well, that's pretty easy, I will show you. So we filmed it.
So we're locked, but there's a rec sensor up there.
And I really like the finger in the end. Can I get back? Do it again? Why did we kill it? Let's see. Yeah. Look at his finger at the end. I really love that part.
So we're locked, but there's a rec sensor up there.
Really awesome. But that's how easy it is. And police were like, what the fuck? Well, it's an infrared sensor and it will take your body temperature. But if you put whiskey in it, it will evaporate and it will signal heat. So works that way. We can walk in. We can do a lot of dumpster diving. We can pretend we are of the first aid and just say to a clerk, well, we got a burn and it's a first aid exercise and we have an accident in the server room. And 9 of the 10 buildings will put you in the server room and you can just plug in some USB and get a Band-Aid and walk out. It's that easy. Why we're in, dear police, we worry about this. Which lock will you choose? Which lock will you choose, by the way? Number 2, then why are all your keys behind number 1? The most easy pickable lock is the lock where all the keys are behind. It is like this every day. And then they said, police, but we have tags. I said, that's cool. We can scan tags, you know. If you're at the toilet, we like to scan you. We have tools like this. Do you guys know this one? Boss Cloner. Really awesome. It's a big antenna in a bag with a lot of cards and a mobile app. And you just press clone on your app and it clones cards within the vicinity. And you can just pick them out of your bag and walk in. Really fucking awesome. But expensive. We have cheaper shit. This one, for instance. I guess you all know this one, right? China. Fun for the people who don't. It has security. It says if you want to use this for criminal purposes, press cancel. Yeah. And then you can take a card, put it in.
Read success. Card number is 156612220.
And the bottom button says clone or copyright, whatever. And if you have a 0 empty track card, you can make a clone for just $19. It's so fucking cheap and you can have a lot of fun. Oh yeah, this one I put in later. We have an office with a lot of hackers and we got a new coffee machine with cards. So awesome. So we cloned it before, we cloned it after, 4 bytes difference. And now everybody has 999 cups of coffee. Always. We also tried to get the display to read LOL or whatever, but then it crashed and then the people had to come to fix it. So don't try to put ASCII and stuff like this. Okay, dear police, what's this? NSA. Why do you use it? Nobody uses it. You say, how's the weather? And instead that she says, look outside, you moron. That would be cool. Yeah. She does read temperature, but we forget. In the US, they buy stuff with this. You know, they say, "I'm out of milk, Alexa," and then you get the next day Prime delivers milk. But we forget when we build stuff like this that we have parrots, and this one just ordered 20,000 rolls of toilet paper by just repeating, "Alexa, order toilet paper." Yeah, we build it, but we don't think about consequences. I mean, who of you wants a LinkedIn connection with your toothbrush? I don't, but we build it, you know. We have mobiles with G sensors, and they have built 5 lines of code that if you tap in your PIN code, within 5 times he has it 100% and 70% in the first try. Why? Because your phone moves different according to the Earth by the G sensor. We build shit, we don't think about it. I mean, older people, and I'm not talking about you, Hans, older people don't know how to handle this shit. I got the saddest picture ever, and I'm gonna show it now. Are you ready? Please don't cry. It's so sad. Poor old lady. Always feeding the drones. She has no clue what we are all doing. She has no clue that if there's an USB stick on the street, she knows maybe to not plug it in the computer. But she doesn't know that the problem now is in the cable. And then they say, well, it's only hackers that can do shit in the cable. No, you can order it at Wish, even with a SIM card in it. Malware in the cable at Wish for pretty penny. Old people like this stuff. And this really happened, by the way. In the Netherlands, a guy was extorting companies with a letter like this cut out of papers. Really, really awesome, combining old and new. Let's try this. This is a Bitcoin extortion on paper for the English people. Really cool. But I still think everybody needs a hacker. And does it work all the way? No. We have a bug bounty platform. We do responsible disclosure handling for our customers. We get shit. I mean, we got a lot of these things. I want to warn you, you have TCP port 3128 open. Anybody know what 3128 is? Who said squid first? Oh, you get a bottle. I still have one. It goes way too fast now. Sorry. Those people are hacking their own network infrastructure because they have squid proxy in the inside and try to hack us and get this report back. Really fucking awesome, cool people. Then we have those guys. Hi, I want to warn you that you have a problem somewhere, maybe with SSL or patches. It's called Dragnet responsible disclosures. Just send them out in millions and hope you get a bounty. Give bounty, sir. Yeah, can I have rewards? Can I get bounty? This one was also fun. Schubert Philips got this one. We found a login panel, and if an attacker suggests username and password or found it, they can enter it and they are in your site. What? Yeah, if I guess your username password, I can get in. Oh, wow. Kindly fix ASAP, and they forgot that there was even two-factor authentication present, but they had no clue. More difficult ones are these we get. I want to warn you that you are vulnerable to CVE 2016-1. Anybody who knows this from their heads get a beer? Nobody? Sorry? No. No, it's a difficult one. I had to look it up as well, and it's PHP mailer, all under 5.2 remote code execution, and we were like, what the fuck, we run Ruby, you know? And we called those guys, but they weren't available because they were in a hospital somewhere. On the top, this one also fun. Report to Dovecot at HackerOne. Due to improper configuration, following directories open and the files are listed. Yeah, oh cool, it's this from Debian. Now I have to ask you, did you took the time to consider whether this might be intentionally left like this? Really awesome replies. If you want to look more at this stuff, bugbounty.fail has a whole side list with all the fails. Really cool. Responses, also very cool. This one, hi Khalil, I am sorry, this is not a bug, thanks, security Facebook. Does anybody know what happens next? Yeah, this happens next. Hi, sorry Mark for posting on your wall, but I want to show that this was really a problem that I found. This is not the way to handle hackers if we have an issue. This one also really cool. Out of scope thing, and this was for Uber. And the guy who reported it was a bit angry. He said, you bleeping, mother bleeping. I know this is out of scope, blah, 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 blah. And then he said the worst thing you can say to somebody at Uber. Those kind of responses you get. So how, dear police force, are you going to work with us hackers? How are we going to do this? How can we even work together? The one thing we have to do is build trust, which means that if I want to talk to a policeman, I don't want to talk to the police. I want to talk to a friend who works at the police. That's the only way we can do this. You have to be here. Police has to sit here, make friends, have mutual interest, work together. Then that's the way it works. We really have to work together, and I found a word on Twitter I really liked for this. We have to become frolics. Well, they were like, what the fuck is he saying? And I said, well, you said I could say anything, you know? So let's become frolics, dear people. And to show my goodwill, dear police, I brought you a gift. And the whole room got quiet. And I say, for one, I work at Zerocopter. I will open up Zerocopter for you. If you have something and Zerocopter hackers might help, we can set up a program and we will try to help you. That's my first one gift. But my second gift is much more nicer. It's a USB key. You know? What kind of bottle, what kind of stick is this? Flashbang. Flashbang. Do you have a bottle? Oh, okay. There's one bottle for anybody. But no, it's not a USB kill disk I'm offering you. I'm offering you a USB disk with the LinkedIn database of 2013. And they were all like, whoa. And it was on stage, in real. And that's Theo van der Plas, that's the head of digital crime, police, blah, 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 who's getting up. And they were all worried that he might shoot me. But he came on stage, he gave me a hug. I didn't steal his gun. I tried, but I didn't. But he took my disk. He really took it. And he gave me a hug and he said, we will try to keep and work with you guys. After 2 weeks, I got this mail, which states in English that we gave a USB stick and we don't trust it, so we dismantled it and blah, blah, blah. We thought it was Daisy Pro. They did forensics, they did x-ray shit, they did everything on the stick, but it was a normal USB stick with a LinkedIn database. So would a hacker be trusted? Yes, of course we will be trusted. And this brings me also to you police to the end. I mean, if you look at the thing I always tell, if you look at all the hackers, 5% of all the hackers is willing to help whatever. Doesn't matter. We don't want anything in return. We don't want money. It's cool if you send money. It's cool if you send a shirt. But you doesn't have to. We just want our internet to be more secure. 30% is still espionage, China looking into factories, stuff like that. We cannot fix it. And you have 15% activism, anonymous, etc. 10% script kiddies, although I think those numbers are shifting now, more script kiddies. And you have still criminals. And criminals aren't criminals. A lot of them aren't. I mean, there are criminal organizations doing all sorts of weird stuff, but there are also kids, 15, 16-year-old, who download a database, who break into something, download a database with credit card data. They know they cannot use it, but what do you do as a hacker when it's worked? When you finally got the database, you talk about it with your friends. And then criminals come and say, you know what, you cannot use those credit card numbers, but I can. I will buy it for you, from you, for like 5,000 euro. And then you're a kid, and you're like, whoa, I can get 5,000 euro, and I cannot even use it. And here you have it. Not thinking about the consequences that criminals will come back and will say, give me more, or else I will do this, or else I will do that. Now what, if we can do bug bounties, if we can do responsible disclosure, and if we can work with police or whatever, and just let hackers hack, you know, let them do what they're good at. But just give them the opportunity to do it in an ethical way, make some money, get some swag, help companies, trust each other. That will be fucking awesome. So I hope we can get there in the end. And if in the ideal world those 40% would go away, they will become ethical. Those 10% script kiddies we will just train, then we have 55% of all the hackers on the right side. And then we are almost home-based, because then we have a secure internet. And with that, I will go to my last slide, which is, as ever, the most important. And I did this at police, and I was like this. Come on, you guys. Keep calm, hug a hacker, and have fun. And that's what I did at the police, and I hope you can take something with it. Try to help kids, try to work, and try to just make friends with everybody you know, to just share the information you have, learn from others, and just work together with everybody you can. Thank you very much. Come back.